Utah Gun Exchange, the nation's patriot marketplace.
Okay, Brian here, Utah Gun Exchange. I'm with Bernie, and we are with Nexgen Defense, or we call it Nexgen2 Defense. So second day of SHOT Show. There is so much stuff that's on this, but one of the things that is so cool, and I've actually shot this suppressor myself, putting across these guys and Joe Firearms down here. This is really the next generation in technology for suppressors. It's spectacular. Utah company, of course, Utah made. We love that. We love these guys. Ernie, thanks for having us. When we first walked up this booth, we actually kicked everybody out. When we walked up, this booth was slammed. I mean, there were people everywhere. And we're learning about this next generation suppressor here, invented by Ernie. Ernie, tell us about it. And honestly, guys, I've shot this thing. It was unbelievable. It really is a different feel.
Well, the most important thing, I think, is the why. And you can say, well, everybody's got a suppressor these days.
They do.
But they all function the same way. And when you look at where suppression is going and needs to go, if the goal is to, let's shoot suppressed all the time, right? Have a suppressor on there all the time for hearing safety.
Well, why not?
What people don't understand is hearing damage is dose-related and cumulative. So it happens, you're going to lose your hearing across your lifetime. Okay? So you want to get the sound level as low as you can. So even the Centers for Disease Control, which is not a conservative think tank, recommended the use of suppressors with hearing protection. Because the lower that you can get that decibel reading, the better. But the thing that causes the issue is suppressors in the background cause the weapons to malfunction.
Okay.
You're increasing the cyclic rate. You get a lot of blowback into the action. The guns will break more often. They get dirty. They fail. You also have issues of the blowback into the operator's face. The military's been studying that since about 2010, 2011 because of the increasing incidence of heavy metal poisoning.
Okay.
So you not only need to make hearing safe, but breathing safe. And from a military standpoint, you need to maintain that operational reliability. Marine Corps fielded 2 suppressed combat brigades as a trial, and they came back and said, we want to go suppressed. Here's the benefits of going suppressed in combat. The downside was the loss in operational reliability due to battery assaults, an increase in cyclic rate.
That makes sense.
And that they said that there remains considered long-term health effects. So how do we get to where you have something that people can run suppressed all the time? Well, you need to make it so it doesn't affect how their gun runs. They can add the suppressor, put it on, take it off, and the gun doesn't change how it runs. Okay? Or it runs better. And that's what we accomplished with this.
And I tell you, I would have to agree with everything you said based on my experience.
Well, we posted videos online of even this 9.5-inch saw K shooting, and a saw suppressed is like breathing in a chimney. And I sent those videos to RDEC, Army Research and Development Command, at their request. And then they said, were they doctored? They said, suppressors, nothing coming out. Usually unsuppressed, you get some gas out.
Yep.
So we had to kind of explain, at least I was talking to engineers, and explain the scavenging effect that we get because of the forward flow momentum on the suppressor. So when you create a forward flow of the gases, it starts pulling everything that way, right? So when the breech opens, it starts pulling gas in the breech. And so on a saw, where you've got firing from an open bolt or open breech, you get that kind of caustic scavenge. So it really runs clean. You're not getting all of the blowback in the operator's face. And so we're really trying to, accomplish things that make a difference. And the science of this really, is pretty straightforward. In a normal suppressor, they always thought 2-dimensionally, and that's why we call this the Maxfield 3D. They're always thinking, linear down the board,
with the baffles.
2-dimensionally, So you had the low pressure zone on a normal suppressor. It's just always in that baffle, that chamber in front, right? So as the bullet goes to go through and the gases are burning and expanding, there's really no flow dynamic to most suppressors. You have, whether it's K-baffle, M-baffle, modified K-baffle, stop baffle, it's a baffle chamber system. Yeah, it just stops it. So if those gases are building and pressurizing here, there's only 2 exits. back down the bore, back pressure, and then squeezing through a little opening.
That's right.
Well, as you squeeze that gas through that opening, you're re-accelerating it. You know, so you may have slowed it down here,
and
but
it
you're
continues to accumulate. I mean,
Yeah.
it gets worse
Well,
with
you're
the
gonna,
more shots I fire.
Exactly, and you're going to get erosion there. And suppressors basically are shot out when that primary or blast baffle erodes to the point where you get enough blow-by that you're getting turbulence in those next chambers and it's buffeting the bullet. And that's because it's just physics, right? The low pressure's here, so the gases are going to try to get by the bullet as it goes through. We have the high pressure zone here and the low pressure zone out here. This is maybe give you a little bit better example. So we take the gases and they're bled off. And because we have the low pressure zone here, if the bullet's sitting there right there in the middle, the gas would have to compress between that wall and the bullet, and it's not. It's going to go the low pressure route. Okay.
Gotcha.
So, as the bullet, we're doing this in real time. As the bullet moves down, we're moving the gases out into the low pressure area, where we're basically creating all this turbulence and collisions. The gas doesn't go back and forth. It actually comes up. You know, here's a hole, and there's helical fluting. So you're spinning it kind of into a vortex. This breaks that vortex or breaks the pressure wave, you know, down two paths, and then it collides. Everything behind the bullet, it's going to kind of come out, you know, kind of hit those surfaces cool, and then equalize back into the core, so that you've got all of this movement of the gases.
And then it releases, sir?
Yeah. And so we're now allowing gases to expand, slow, and cool using the entire suppressor. Okay. Then we get down here, and where most manufacturers on suppressors, they create their microsecond plug on their blast baffle. That's where they're going to have the tightest seal for the bullet to go through to let the bullet get ahead. We create it out here, whereas that bullet's traveling through that tube. Okay, it's called blocking your high pressure exit. So what that does is have it take this low pressure route, and these are kind of, they used to call this an adjustable pressure release valve. So you can change the config and the settings a little bit to optimize it. We kind of have tested a lot to kind of find the right configuration. Yeah. But while the bullet's in there, kind of plugging this high pressure exit, it's making all these gases that have now expanded, cooled, and slowed. They now release around this outside. Okay,
right here in this area.
Yeah, lower pressure, lower velocity, lower temp. Okay, and then on the design, it then goes in and there's this cap. Okay. So it's vented out here, and then you've got, you know, you take any pressure coming out here, and you take the one pressure zone, break it into multiple, break it down again, and diffuse it. So the cap actually is going to give you a little bit better sound mitigation. It's going to give you more flash mitigation. But one of the things that they kind of miss, if you're looking at overall signature management, especially on the military side, is smoke signature mitigation. Those suppressors have designed to concentrate musket pop. You basically blow that out, disperse it, and it's gone really quickly. But it's not going to give away the operator. So the benefits of this is you can put it on, if it's a piston-driven gun, put it on a direct impingement gun. We've run it on everything that we can get from saws to the Patriot Ordnance Factory, New Revolution rifle, the P416, the LWRCs, the TORs, the brands, and on none of them did it change the cyclic rate or change the operation. That's the beauty of what this does. You can turn it around. It's not going to change the suit. But you get some added benefits. It's kind of fun.
I don't know why you have mine. I
When you have forward flow momentum of the gases, you get really good recoil mitigation.
Yes.
Okay.
That was my experience.
That's the compliment that we've got. We were out at Advanced Tactics and Countermeasures on Monday, ATAC, and Frank DeSome at POF was there with his 12.5-inch Revolution. Okay, and he brought it full auto. And you had, you know, and these guys obviously were like Special Forces guys, SAS, and some Australian Special Forces. And in full auto, they, you know, at 100 yards, they just laid on and hit plate, you know, with a 12.5-inch 308. And they were just like, this is amazing.
It is.
Because there's so much, it shoots really soft, a lot of recoil mitigation. I've had guys send me video testimonials saying, I'm running this, and I ran like, you know, 800 rounds, and the gun was cleaner than when it was on suppressed.
Well, it's spectacular. I mean, I guess if you're an engineer, you understand all that. Me personally, I don't, but I'm a buyer. I'm a buyer, not because I understand it, because the experience I have with it is absolutely fantastic. I have numerous suppressors, and this one outperformed everything I've got.
Well, shooting is believing. I have a friend that is a good friend, former Force Recon Marshal guy, does training in Utah, runs phenomenal classes, and it took me about 7 months to get him to try it out. And he has about a dozen of them now, but he said, I don't even consider this a suppressor. Okay? He says because he goes to gun shoot software, shoot for accuracy, and his experience was he could get maybe 100 to 200 rounds in a suppressor, and he's been able to run several thousand rounds through these, and the gun's still going.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Now, are you guys in full production with this?
We are, and everything's made in Utah. We're 100% vertically integrated.
Okay.
So we have some pretty incredible manufacturing capability.
Then you're making it in Utah. Where would somebody go in order to learn more about this and purchase?
Well, there's information on the website, or they can just call or email us.
So they would go to the website. What's the name of the website?
NG2 defense.com.
NG2 defense.com. And you sell these products on the
everything's shipping. We have it available in a 30 caliber version, direct red, a 223 or 5.56 version direct thread. We have a version for the AK-47, the AK-74, a 9mm version, and we do have a little bit different version and a quick detach coming out. The quick detach will be releasing here in about maybe a month and a half.
Fantastic. You have some kind of arrangement with Joe Firearms where you have affixed this to the AK-47 that they sell. Yep. The AK-47 that Joe Firearms designed is also top of its class. Very unique firearm.
Yeah, that's
you put this on the end. Can you tell us about that?
Well, that's where we partnered with them. I mean, the AK market is really specialized. You've got so many different variations and varieties, and what we needed to do with the design is you have a lot of issues with concentricity and tolerances, and kind of design that into the suppressor to account for that. So we worked with Joe Firearms and the AJAC team to really get this thing to work on that, so that you can put it on, and we've accounted for the lack of tolerance or concentricity on it.
Yeah.
And on the AK ones, they're kind of our distributor, our go-to guys, and that's because they're experts on that platform.
They are.
And we wanted to, so somebody gets this and they get it through them, and they're going to get the kind of support that they need. Because these guys know that platform inside out.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that's cool about this package for the laymen like me or the collectors, I collect a lot. I wish I shot as much. But when I do shoot, I get to shoot the good stuff, and that's what makes me happy. So the neat thing about this package is that at Joe Firearms, you get a unique AK-47. It's a left-hand charge, in fact, I understand, which is really cool. You also can add this setup today, plus you can Cerakote it the way you want it, and then you get full support at Joe Firearms. So,
exactly, and there are a lot of unique features on the guns, but more importantly, it's really gone through those guns and made sure that they're really squared away, the quality, the details there. And so there's a lot of variation on that platform, and they get those guns really squared away and running. I'm a left-handed shooter, okay, and I took one of their, it's like a 7-inch AK-47. If you would ask me, hey, you want a 7-inch AK-47, left-handed, I would be like, no. I mean, they're brutal to shoot. You put the suppressor on it, that thing's so soft shooting. I mean, it makes you want it.
Yeah.
On the AK-74, it's amazing. It's almost like an airsoft gun.
Well, Ernie, I'm super impressed. I know that our audience is as well. All I can tell you is I'm a buyer. I recommend everybody to buyer on this one. That's the real deal. This is probably the smoothest running suppressor I've ever shot. I do have firearms from Joe Firearms. They're spectacular. I think it's a great combination, a great partnership. NG2defense.com, and then we have joefirearms.com, just exactly like it sounds. joefirearms.com. Nice package. Thank you for hosting.
Thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe, and go to utahgunexchange.com for all of your Patriot gear needs.
To all those in Second Amendment deprived states, if you're reading this, you are the resistance, and we are with you. The nation's Patriot Marketplace. Buy, sell, trade. utahgunexchange.com. The nation's Patriot Marketplace. Buy, sell, trade. utahgunexchange.com.